I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. Hello, everybody. KJ here, coming from the RV down at the lake. I wanted to get with all of you. I hope you all had a great weekend. I've thought a lot about where we're at now that we've got about a month to go with the Donna Adelson case. And, in the past case that we studied, there was this, I guess, this line of understanding and thinking about what was ahead for Lori Hussey Daybell, right? She was going to be spending the rest of her life in prison. We talked about the prison environment and all of these things. Today, folks, OKJ is going to try my very best to keep a straight face and talk to you about Donna Adelson and what she's facing. Aging. Aging in prison. All right. Now, most of the time when you think about aging in prison, someone young, some dumbass did something terrible at a young age, and they end up having to spend the rest of their life in prison, and they grow old there. Well, what if you go to prison when you're 73 years old? Yes, Donna Adelson is 73, and she's going to be 74 here this year. Hello, Tina Reddington, Christina Hill, Moonlight View, Edie Ruth, I Live for Now, Stephanie Willow. Folks, what about the elderly in prison? Hmm? I thought, well, how am I going to bring this to everybody considering old KJ is an old girl myself? I'm 53 years old. And I thought, let's just get down to, bare bones. Let's talk like we're sitting in the room together. Let's talk about these problems that we might share or have, being older. And let me just preface that by saying that in the federal system and many state systems, an elderly prison is 50 years of age and above. So if old KJ went to prison, I'd be an elderly woman, all right? But, folks, it doesn't get past me that I'm getting older. Things that I used to do when I was younger, I can't do anymore, or if I do, it's slower and more careful so that I don't fall on my face. But, most of the demographics on this channel are older women, and there are some exceptions. There's young women, and there's a few men that visit this channel. But ultimately, y'all, there's the older generation here. More, are we going to talk about the golden years with Donna Adelson and what she's facing? Hello there, Edie Ruth, Trevor Levesque, Hope Grace. Good afternoon. Yes, Mr. Wayne and I, we've been having a fun time. We're here till Friday. We decided to come down to the lake 1 week a month. The whole summer and into fall, except for September when we have to go and travel to NASCAR and do a week there in Bristol. But y'all, midnight just jumped up on the table. I had to take her with me because she's still young and I'm giving her antibiotics. Let's see if I can come here. She's growing. Look, y'all. Isn't she precious? Isn't she just the sweetest? Look how big she's getting just in that short amount of time. She is such a character, too. But anyway, back to this growing old in prison. If you're already old and you go off to prison and that's the rest of your life, that's not much, is it? Even if Donna Adelson was only to get 15 years, which, folks, in my opinion, Donna Adelson's going to get convicted, just like her son, Charlie Adelson. But even if she got 15 years, that would almost be a life sentence, although there are people that can live to be 90, 100 years old. Folks, my family, my mother passed at 79. Her mother passed at 52, or no, it was 51, almost 52 years of age. I'm sure if you thought about both sides of your family and the longevity, it's it's hit or miss, right? Right, I live for now. Cuteness overload. She has Hope Grace. I've been having to hand feed her, and I've been putting chicken broth in with her food to kind of give her more hydration because she's on antibiotics. And I know when I take her back next Monday, she'll have gained weight, and the vet will be very impressed with old KJ. But anyway, yes, Edie Ruth, Mr. Wayne caught a 10-pound, almost 11 pounds. So I rounded it off to 11 pounds of this great big flathead. It's the first one in all of our years of marriage. That's the biggest one that he's ever caught around me. He says years before he met me, he had caught one bigger, but I told him unless he could show me proof, that's the only one I know of. Ha ha. Hello, Marilyn. So we're going to talk about this today. About, because we already, remember when we were talking about the hussy and, she has breast implants. And by the way, I'm just going to look at you right now. If you don't want to talk about these things in terms of aging, number one, I'm not making fun of any of it because I'm going to be getting older too. But when it comes to Donna Adelson, I don't have a problem. So if I mention something and you perhaps have this health condition, I'm telling you now, please don't take offense to it, because quit it. She's grabbing my ankle, y'all. Quit it. She is feisty. She should just scratch on me and grab my ankles and everything else. But anyway, we're going to talk about some very intimate, personal things. Kind of like a hen party, right? Women sitting around, and all that good stuff. Go play. Go over there and get your mouse. I got this little stuffed mouse that's got catnip inside of it. Hopefully she'll start playing with it, because she doesn't bother me any other time. As soon as I start talking, that's when she comes to me, y'all. Trevor Lebeck says, I'm 60 and proud of it. Now, also, y'all, let's keep this in mind. If you're suffering from any of these health conditions, or you have other health conditions that I don't speak of, and you're feeling old, and you just feel like, oh, I'm just an old person, blah, 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 folks, you're free. With all the problems that could be happening in this world, you're free. You ain't got to go sit in a freaking jail cell. You don't have to wear orange. You can get better health care. You can get all of this other stuff. So, again, I am going to be discussing some things that are a little on the, I'm going to be using the term vagina, okay? So if any of y'all don't want to talk about the vagina as an elderly person, please, I ask you, if it's going to offend you, just don't even be here, because I'm going to talk about these things. Hi, Susan Honecker. Hi, Shema. Shema says, not following this case. Me and Hema are big fans of you, KJ. Well, you tell Hema I said hello, and maybe, I don't know, Shema. I don't know if Hema needs to be listening to what I've got to go over today, which is the elderly in the prison systems and what they are facing. What Donna Adelson did not take one little minute second to think about her golden years, but she was just so, all about my golden years. I want my grandchildren near me. I want my daughter near me, and I'm willing to pay some damn Cuban guy down here to take a man out, take the father of my grandchildren out, and think that she could get away with it. Okay? She ruined those children's lives, her grandchildren's lives. They have to grow up without their father. And anyone that knows anything about it knows that really does cause issues with little boys and little girls growing up without their daddy. Hi, Deja Vu. Okay. We rescued a kitten a couple of months ago, and she's a handful, but we love her dearly. Now our dog Bandit has a different opinion, says Trevor Lebeck. Well, good for you, Trevor. I love Little Midnight. I'm still getting used to the name that Wayne gave her. I guess if I had my way, I'd name her Monkey by now, because she is like a monkey. She gets on the curtains and she's just like Velcro everywhere she goes. Hello, Cindy Arnold. Hello. Okay, so I'm going to get started. And again, let me just emphasize this. Look at me when I'm talking to you. If I talk about any elderly health issues that's affecting you, please do not take it personal. Don't take offense to it, because I'm going to do my best to keep a straight face about it. But I can't help it when I think of Donna Adelson, Donna Sue there, thinking she could get her way by murdering her son-in-law, okay? So, aging in prison. I did just a little bit, because I've been busy fishing and all that. But I will confess, I've been thinking about this for a little while, and I wanted to give it a little different swing about things. Chris Arnett says, I take care of the neighborhood stray. I love black cats. My stray I care for is one. Well, isn't that sweet, Chris? Good for you. But Donna Sue Adelson is 73 years old. And she's going to have a big rude awakening when she goes to prison. Not just about she's never going to be free again. We're talking about at 73 years of age. This is the state of prisons across the United States. I've read some peer review articles and looked at some statistical data and all this and that. I won't go into all that boring stuff, but I did get my environmental view of stuff. And there was one article that I wanted to read. It's from the Crime Report, Aging in Prison. And please forgive me, y'all, the AC's gonna come on, so if it sounds like there's a humming, sorry. Okay, and this is called Aging in Prison, the Forgotten Plight of Women Behind Bars. About a decade into her life sentence, a prisoner felt pain around a couple of her bottom teeth. A car accident 20 years earlier had led to an expensive restoration with dental implants, and special cleanings now would be needed to maintain them. Now let's just stop there for a second, because for the Adelson Institutes for Aesthetics and Dentistry and Implants, y'all, I've seen Donna Adelson's teeth. She has dental implants. This is why I chose this article. But when she went to the prison dentist, he gave her only one option. Her teeth would have to come out. That was it. They do not maintain anything in the dental implants in prisons. They just don't. If she's having pain, infection, whatever, Donna Adelson is going to have her dental implants taken out. That is just one example. We could go further and talk about, say, the hussy and her breast implants. At some point, those implants are going to start feeling like concrete blocks. Anything could happen. They could start to leak or this or that. The bottom line is there is everything from Botox, which when you stop taking Botox, and I believe Donna Adelson absolutely is either used fillers or Botox. After you stop taking that, you have muscle issues on your face that makes your face look different. The lines and wrinkles come back. Y'all, I've got wrinkles and lines. I don't do Botox, none of that stuff. So I'm not sitting here saying that people with wrinkles are bad people, but I'll tell you what, Lori Hussey and Donna Adelson deserves every damn wrinkle they're going to have. Hello, Donna Donald. Get those clothes washed. Right, Q, Botox. Trevor Levesque says, I've survived a major stroke and cancer, and I'm so blessed to be here with y'all. And let's just think about that, Trevor. What if some elderly person in prison has a stroke, or is dying of cancer, or has a cancer that needs all of this stuff? The bottom line is the health care is substandard. And not only that, 9 times out of 10, they're dealing with generic stuff as well. Now, according to some sources, women in prison face a number of challenges as they are when they are elderly, okay? Specifically elderly in prison. Self-harm. Women are more likely to self-harm as they grow older than men, even though they make up only 4% of the prison population. So I could assume or hypothesize that, a person who's elderly that comes into the prison system, not someone who was young that turned elderly, because by that time, y'all, they just, it is what it is. But an elderly person coming into the prison system, especially someone like Donna Adelson, who probably had the best damn health care there is that money can buy. She was pampered. She was taken care of. She probably did spa days. She probably got her nails and toes, or did pedicures and manicures and Botox and all these things. She will not have that at all in prison. Her upkeep incarcerated would be lotion on the face. She could get some makeup. They have hairstylists in the prison systems that cut your hair and do your hair, but that's it. All these other things that Donna Adelson, now that she's 73, you think about that. What do you do? What does OKJ do at our age, 53 years of age? Well, I'll tell you what, I try to stay very active. Whether it's, you might think sitting around on a boat holding a pole is just lazy and just comfortable and calm and all that. No, you're constantly moving around, trying to untangle lines, and, it's very active. Fishing is very active. You only get so much time to sit there and wait for your fish to bite. You've got other things on the boat that you got to do. What does OKJ do? Let's see. I know that I try to do some walking. I try to stay active out of the yard and stuff. That is something that Donna Adelson will know nothing about once she is incarcerated. She will not be able to get out and do much. Maybe they'll have like that yard where she can walk in it, and get some fresh air. But the bottom line is there are things that everyday people that live out here in society, women that are older, that can do to keep themselves young. Namely, how about this, y'all? This is silly, but it's true. OKJ has to have at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night. Do you think that Donna Adelson is going to get 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night with all that ruckus down there in the prison and the smells and the correctional officers and the bright lights and all of that? Sleep is very important for people that are older. Alpha Femme Maxine says she'll have to walk around the basketball court. And Gibson says, hi, KJ and everyone. It's nice to catch you live. It's after 9 in the evening here. Well, good evening, Ann. How are you? Glad you're here. Deja Vu said I could name a whole cell block with Donna, Letitia, Lori, Sarah Boone, etc. Right, Deja Vu. But what OKJ's wanting to get across is that there are women that go to prison elderly. Like, I don't know if some of y'all know who Nancy Brophy is. She was the romance novelist that snuck into the school that her husband was working at and shot him dead. They convicted her. She's spending life in prison. She's in her late 60s. She's definitely never going to see the light of day again. These young people can adjust. The rest of their life, they can grow old in there. Like Lori Hussey Daybell, she was in her 40s. She's going to have to, deal with it and all that. But these elderly people, y'all, just being out in the world. OKJ, sometimes, things get hard on me. At 53 years of age, and if you're older than me, you might be thinking, oh, KJ, you're younger than me, you're a spring chicken and all that. Folks, I'm an older woman. And so I've always trying to figure out ways to have less stress in my life, try to do things that calm me, because that's hard to do. Because old KJ just bounces off the walls as much as that little kitten does. I always have had this overactive mind and all this and that, and so I've got to find ways to meditate, to calm myself. Sometimes I do breathing exercises. Well, Donna can do that meditative stuff and breathing inside of herself, but with the environment going on around her, and she knows damn well that she's got her jail cell, she's got all the inside of the prison. That is her life. That's what's going to happen to her. The money to keep them is more than retirement income. Yes, yes. Deja Vu, you're very articulate on that. I actually researched that. They still are trying to figure all of that out. Uh, it does cost more to take care of the elderly in prison than the younger ones in prison, and it's just costing taxpayers a lot of money. There have even been studies through the ACLU that talk about when an elderly person gets to an age where, say, they get dementia or, God, he would have to come by here on that damn mower. What are you doing, dude? Go. Get out of here. My God. Any other time, he'd be over in left field over there. Dumbass. Hold on just a minute. Don't you run up against my camper, you damn asshole. Can you believe that? He's over here now. Any other damn time he wouldn't be here. Right up against the damn. There ain't no damn grass behind this RV. I'll tell you again. I've got to find ways to get rid of my stress. Wayne, say hello to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Wayne says hello. Anyway, so the first thing that elderly have to deal with in prison, this is statistical data, is self-harm. Then comes the staff misconduct. Now, staff misconduct, you would think that's like for more the younger women, the more, attractive women, the staff misconduct. Maybe they're, doing things sexually with other women. But this also can happen to elderly women in that they are considered less in prison and they're usually picked on. But staff misconduct, women may experience staff misconduct such as making them feel uncomfortable during strip searches or not following search safety standards. I bypassed the sexual harassment and all that to talk about in prison systems, the protocols. Elderly, I'm sure young women too, but elderly women, you imagine them, Donna Adelson, being strip searched because someone's talking in the prison and they got to tear down her cell and whatever she's got in there, they're stripping it, checking everything. There's these just they're not even going to tell them when they're going to do it and all of that. So, yes, we got self-harm, staff misconduct, and then comes the health care for Donna Adelson. Women in custody may experience all kinds of issues when they become elderly. Okay? I'm going to give you a couple of very intimate examples. But as you become elderly, y'all, women do. They have vaginal issues. Okay? I'm trying to have a straight face about this, okay? But it's true. And we're all adults here, and I'm not making light of this. But we're talking about there's 33% of women in prison, now hear me, have an STD. And if Donna Adelson does not have an STD, and there are women in there that want to pick on her and say you're going to be, my girl and all this and that, Donna Adelson could very well end up with an STD, okay? Not to mention, because she's elderly, as you grow older, you go through that change. Y'all know what I'm talking about. She's definitely not getting the big beef injection in prison. Uh, she probably doesn't have any libido. She's probably hadn't had one for years. I mean, I can't imagine her and Harvey, just doing it to it all the time. He looks like he's just a poor sap. Let's hope that Donna figures out a way to bring a little romance into her life once she goes to prison. Dan Gibson says it's called dry rot. And that, okay, all right. So, see, someone else said it. I didn't say it. I don't know about the rot, but it can be like the Sahara Desert, okay? And I don't know, what Donna would be able to purchase at commissary. Something that would kind of lube that thing up. Because when it's dry like the Sahara, y'all, it itches, it's irritable, it's not fun. And Donna Adelson, in her elderly age, is going to have to deal with that along with everyone else that's growing old. And yet, she's not going to be able to get the highest, most wonderful gynecological exams and products or anything like that. Okay? Now, I'm sure in the women's prison they have yeast infection medicines. They probably have, things that you can purchase to help with these STDs and all that. So Donna, if Donna has to end up, being someone's bitch and having to eat that, you know what I'm talking about now. I'm telling you, it happens, okay? It happens. She's liable to get an STD, all right? Then you could understand why her dental implants need to be taken out. But there are bacterial vaginosis and there are physiological discharges that happen when you're elderly. And Donna Adelson's going to have to deal with that. She's just going to have to deal with it. She's not going to be able to get Harvey to run to the Walgreens for her. She's going to be in prison. And if she wants to see a nurse there, by God, she's going to have to sit there, grin and bear it until she can get in to see one. Because they're not going to jump to it for Donna Adelson at all. So, that is the private parts of things. Now, what else goes on with an elderly person? Your eyesight, your hearing, maybe muscle problems, things that happen. You lose muscle mass. I know that when you become elderly, you start to lose muscle mass. Digestive issues, folks. Digestive issues. Donna Adelson, maybe in out here in the world, before she got arrested and sitting in jail, she was taking Fiber One every day, fiber gummies, or she was doing Metamucil or something. Well, I'll tell you what, y'all. That jail food's going to give Donna Adelson constipation if it doesn't give her diarrhea. And, when you become elderly, you are more susceptible to catching colds from other people, folks. She is going to be, right now she's in jail. And whether she's off by herself or not, it is still a facility. That stuff gets circulated in the air, and Donna Adelson's going to have to deal with it because your immune system isn't 100% as you become elderly. Yogurt is good. She could get it on commissary. There you go. Okay. There's an answer for Donna Adelson's constipation. Wayne, will you grab the kitten for me, please? Live cultures in a tube, says Deja Vu. Edie Roo says arthritis. Now, Donna Adelson was so used to being able to get what she wanted because, folks, she was on Xanax. Okay? Harvey, being a dentist, I don't know. I mean, I remember she had said something in one of her phone calls to Charlie talking about how she had to get the prescription notes. No, I don't want her. I just don't want her running around grabbing my ankles while I'm trying to talk to all these people. And I know how much you love her anyway.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you do. You love that baby. Uh, so anyway, arthritis. What kind of pre-existing conditions did Donna Adelson have now that she's 73 years old? I don't think they're going to give her Xanax in prison. And I don't think they're going to give her the high dollar name brand shit either. I think it'll be generic. Generic is what I think. Oh, and Gibson says the yogurt is good for the itch. Well, I always thought those like probiotics, Activia yogurt shots are supposed to be good for gut health and all that. I thought that's what you were talking about, Ann. But I've never put yogurt on my vajayjay, but I imagine that if she did that, whether it's the Greek yogurt or whatever, I would say her gel cell would smell like sour buttermilk. Okay. I would say that if she's gonna put that yogurt on there, she might as well throw a couple of berries in on it and get the girl 2 cells down to come eat lunch. Oh, hi, Lily Jahan. Never say never, says Gibson. Okay, all right, y'all. I told y'all at the beginning. If it's too much, just please. I mean, I love you to death, but I don't want you to be here if you're going to be offended. Okay? Yogurt is supposed to be good for yeast infections. Really? Beach Lady, I didn't know that. So, I guess I better change the subject because there's a couple of y'all on here that want me to stop talking about the vagina, okay? Which the bottom line is all women have them, and 99% of women have them. I'll say that. And I'm an adult. You're an adult, but if you don't feel comfortable, I understand. Let's see. So, the World Health Organization. Now listen up. Says the biggest needs for elderly women prisoners health care is mental health problems, and I am sure that Donna Adelson has mental health issues because somebody would have to be mentally off to think that they could get away with murder, hiring someone to murder your son-in-law. Okay, so to me, I mean, I don't think she's completely 100% mentally there to do something like that. So these are the things that these prisoners need, and Donna Adelson's going to get expert opinions, I guess, in when she's in prison. Also, another of the biggest needs in prisoners of elderly women is suicidal behavior. And Donna Adelson's already, when she got put in jail, when she was arrested, she got put on watch because in one of her calls she talked about she was going to kill herself. So even before she even hit the jail cell, she already had talked suicidally, okay? And this is not funny, but Donna Adelson, she absolutely, to me, she couldn't get away with what she thought she was going to get away with. And so she wants to go to the most drastic thing and say, I don't want to live anymore because my son is going to prison or whatever. They're going to have to keep an eye on Donna Sue in prison because there's high percentage of elderly people who come in elderly that end up trying to commit suicide. Also, another of the biggest needs of elderly women prisoners is substance use problems. So Donna Adelson absolutely was taking Xanax. I don't know what else she was taking. Is that a substance use problem? Perhaps, or maybe not. She's not getting them, I don't suppose. Or she would be getting them in prison. I just don't believe that she would be getting a Xanax in prison. It's a scheduled narcotic drug. I don't think they would give that to her in prison. Maybe she could get something that's not narcotic and something that's not a benzopine that could help her. But even if that's not considered a substance issue for Donna Sue Adelson as an elderly woman, by God, she's going to be introduced to it when she goes to prison. There's a lot of statistics out there that talk about when women go into prison, whether they're elderly or not, they might not have any problems at all with substance abuse. And once they're there, especially if they're there for long periods of time or for life in prison, they're open to other inmates giving them stuff. And make no mistake, y'all, it's not something that's just people say. There are lots of drugs that go through the prison system, and it's very likely that Donna Adelson will do anything to soothe the fact that she can't be out here in society anymore doing her domestic coordinating shit, okay? So she could absolutely get a substance abuse problem or already has one. And then finally, we've already talked about it, reproductive health, which doesn't apply to an elderly woman, but it does talk about, such things as gynecologists and different aspects of that as well. Finally, just some common sense things that I see in terms of Donna Adelson at 73 years of age, going to be spending the rest of her life in prison. These are some common sense things that I just sat down and thought about. And the way I think about it is what if I, being 53, and that's considered elderly in a prison system, 50 and over, what would I think would be a problem other than my freedom and some of these other issues that we discussed? Family relationships, okay? Once you are in prison for the rest of your life, and Donna Adelson's got a son who's spending the rest of his life in prison, so she's never going to see him again. She's absolutely never going to see him again unless they have where you do the video call. I don't know if they have that down in Florida. I know they had it in Idaho when Kobe told Lori, why didn't you turn on your your TV thing there and all that? I wanted to see your face. Well, maybe she will see Charlie. I don't know. But she's never going to see him come visit her. And he's never going to have his mother come visit him. Now, perhaps, I'm not sure, maybe one of y'all can enlighten me on this. If you are in prison for a serious thing as murder, and Charlie's convicted of it, and Donna gets convicted of it, can they talk? That's a question. Whether they're able to talk, I don't know. Rita Mays Resale says can't have control with other felons in with other felons in Florida. Okay, Mom Jean says nope. Ann Gibson said at her age she should have been enjoying her late years. Instead, she chose evil. Right, Ann Gibson. Exactly. And it's one thing for people to say, and I totally 100% agree with you, Ann, on that. You think, oh, she's never going to be free again. But I'm trying to get down to little parts of this, specifically about her being elderly and the problems that she absolutely, if she had to have at some point, must have thought if we get caught, I could go to prison, or she thought they would never get caught. And that's why it was an easy choice for her to hire the hitmen. So then you think about Harvey. And Harvey, when she was getting arrested at the airport, I don't know what the situation was on that. She asked the police about, will you please make sure my husband gets back to his vehicle? I don't know what condition Harvey Adelson is in. He's just as old as she is. They sold the Adelson Institute, so I don't know what he's doing now. And of course, he'll be coming to visit her, obviously behind a sheet of glass there. Also, is she going to get visits from her grandsons? The two grandsons that she murdered, basically, their father. Are they going to come visit her? Or are they going to come to their senses about the whole situation when she does get convicted and say, Grandma killed my daddy? I mean, they're teenagers now. I don't see that they could be so brainwashed, although I will say that their mother Wendy could keep, reinforcing it that, your grandma's innocent, your Uncle Charlie's innocent, which, if they sit and just look at the evidence, they'll understand them. Teenagers are not stupid. So who knows? Will they visit? And then you think about anybody else in Donna's family that she wants to visit with. They're going to have to visit with her through some plate glass there. Finally, it's twofold. This is common sense to me, and this is something I would be thinking about if I had done something so bad that I got sent off to prison for the rest of my life, being at the age that I am. And that is I would have to actually accept that this is my life here in prison as I'm sitting on that cot and looking around for the first time at where the remainder of my golden years, the rest of my life. I will have to at some point accept this is it and that it's basically over. That what more can Donna Adelson do from her jail cell? I guess she could take on the role as domestic coordinator for other women in the prison. They could name her, "Hey, Grandma," or or they could pick on her and make her do things that she doesn't want to do. The bottom line is it's over. It's over for Donna Adelson if she gets convicted, and she will, y'all. She will absolutely get convicted. And the twofold in that is that she doesn't have her free life. She'll have to accept it. And the other thing is her legacy. Her legacy. In other words, at some point she's going to have to face the reality that people are going to remember her for doing this. Yes, she'll have people, maybe close friends or family members, that will see past that, remember the good Donna days and all this and that. But she's going to have to come to a place where she knows that when she dies, because y'all, we all got a date with fate. We're all going to die. How do I want to be remembered? How do you want to be remembered? Donna Adelson has no choice on how she's going to be remembered. Her legacy will always be that she was so selfish and such a control freak, she actually thought she could take care of Dan Markel just to have her grandchildren and her daughter move to South Florida. If that isn't the most pathetic reason, it would be different if there was proof positive that Dan Markel was abusive or something to that effect, was doing something so heinous. Even then, it's illegal to kill somebody. So Donna Adelson's going to have to deal with the legacy. She's going to have to deal with the way that her family life is. Will she set up inside of the prison system a new family? Will she be the granny of other women in there? Will she be somebody's bitch? Will she be somebody's just chew toy? Will she be someone that they can take their anxieties out on? Or will Donna go in there and be the run of the show? I do not see Donna Adelson being any one of these Dons out here, if you know what I'm talking about. She's not going to be. She's going to be walking around with her tail between her legs as she's 73 going on 74. It's unfortunate that at her age she's becoming more fragile, even if she wasn't in a jail cell, even if she wasn't spending the rest of her life in prison. She's becoming more fragile. Her immune system isn't the way it should be. She's going to have aging issues beyond wrinkles, beyond losing muscle and all of these other things. It's just, and then you take those normal things that happen to everyone and you put them inside of a prison, and how quickly it ages someone. We saw that firsthand with Chad Daybell sitting in jail for just jail. That's not even prison. The gray hair, Lori continuously growing older and older. And we've seen it time and time again, what being incarcerated does to not only the physical body, not only mentally, but spiritually as well. My hope is that Donna Adelson will find some truth in her spiritual life, which will be the only uh, thing that will save her from the misery that she is going to encounter. Yes, Donna isn't the devil's spawn. She will lead the lost straight to hell, says New York Patriot Lady. And Gibson says she will age quicker in jail. Deja Vu says it's all about the money. Mom Jean says she'll be complaining, being a pain in the A. Uh, Rita Mays Resale says, and to think Wendy changed the boys' names to the murderer's name instead of their respected father. Right, Rita May. You know, it's interesting that Wendy tries to give the excuse, well, after, Dan was murdered and everything, I wanted to change their name to keep them safe, like that was going to keep the children safe. No, it's just her excuse. It was the plan all along. New York Patriot Lady says Donna thinks she's a lowercase g. Right? So, as we talked before, we've been down this road, all of y'all on this channel, about what was going to face Lori in her 40s, going into her 50s, and the things she was going to have to learn to deal with. Now, you got Donna Adelson at 73 years old. Like I said, even if she's given 10 or 15 years, and that ain't going to happen, they're going to give her what they gave Charlie. She's going to get convicted on it too. And it's not, she steps into the, there are going to be a lot of women of all different ages in there. And you know as well as I do that when it comes to these pecking orders in prisons, Donna Adelson would have to be someone other than the way she's been all her life in order to be a top alpha, whatever you want to call it. There's a pecking order, and Donna Adelson's going to be somebody's butt wiper. Which brings me to this. There is going to come a point, y'all. I don't give a damn how good her DNA is, and if she lives to be 150 years old. There's going to come a point in prison where things are really going to break down, where she's either going to become immobile, she's either going to lose it, dementia, Parkinson's or something. All people deal with this. Even the old people that are not diagnosed with any of these memory issues. It's just part of growing old. And there's nothing wrong with growing old. I'm looking forward to growing old because if that's what God wants me to do, I mean, I could die tomorrow, okay? But what I'm saying is if I grow old, like if I'm 70, 80, 90 years old, even if I have no conditions at all, my memory's going to slip, things are going to slow down. I'm not going to be doing what I used to be doing for sure. And Donna Adelson at some point could have to have someone helping her on the silver pot. Because you can look it up yourself. Don't you ever wonder about that? Where they get so old that they get bedridden? Do they stay in their cell in a bed? No. But they are put in these prison hospitals at the very end of it all. And they're basically, in my opinion, y'all, this is just my opinion, they give them substandard care, basically to let them kick on out. Because like I said at the beginning, if you have dental implants and you have to have certain maintenance and they're starting to get infected and you haven't done those cleanings the way they're supposed to and all that, the prison's only going to say, well, we'll just take them out. That's all you're going to get. You're not going to get veneers. You're not going, Lori, at some point, her teeth are going to start hurting her. Even if she's got dental floss, even if she's got the best toothpaste and toothbrush around. At some point, as an elderly woman, Lori Hussey Daybell, her teeth are going to fall out of her mouth. Or they'll have to be yanked out. One way or the other. And they don't dang give them the laughing gas and put them out and make them fall asleep. They numb them up with a dang needle and then yank those things. Mom Jean says, KJ gone fishing, not murder 3. And hello, Julie Coe. Rita Mays Resale says the care is below standard. They'll keep you alive, but that's about it. So, do you believe that Donna Adelson's even thought about this long-term stuff? I guarantee you. Now that she's been in jail for all this time awaiting trial, which is just a month away, y'all, she has thought about her life. And she knows how old she is. And she thought she was going to spend the rest of her days over there in Vietnam in some damn condo. But that's not the way it's going to end for Donna Adelson, because she made a conscious decision. She made a conscious decision. It's called cause and effect. At her age, she should have really thought, I'm 70-something years old. And yet, maybe she thought, I'm 70-something years old and I want my grandkids near me because I don't know how many more years I've got. And so let's just take out Dan Markel. No one will ever find out. Now she has to live with her beloved son, Charlie, spending the rest of his life in prison, and herself having to deal with it. So, I love you all. I wanted to get with y'all. Thank y'all for any of y'all that was getting a little offity there with me because I was using the term vagina and all this and that. Folks, okay, Jay, I'm a 53-year-old mother, wife. I don't have a problem talking about these issues. I'm facing these issues. I have my own health issues. I thank God that I can get my blood pressure medicine, the good stuff, and not the generic shit. I'm so proud that I can go see a doctor, any doctor that I need to go see. I'm glad I get to go to a nice eye care center for my eyeglasses, and that and things of that sort. They're not going to be kind to any elderly woman who commits conspiracy to commit murder and solicitation to commit murder on an innocent life. Lori Hussey Daybell just gets a little bit longer to go through those changes. Donna Adelson went through all those changes that made her a little more fragile and a little more needy. There's nothing wrong with being fragile or needy as an elderly person, because we've spent years kicking ass, working our asses off, doing everything we had to do in our younger years. But Donna Adelson's going to feel it in a whole different way, on a whole different level. It goes beyond her freedom, folks. It's her absolute physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual life that hangs in the balance for this elderly woman who helped murder. So, yes, it is 2024, and Rita Mays Resale says we're all adults. Mom Jean says, yep, it's 2024. I love you. She's thinking. New York Patriot Lady says, Donna's thinking Harvey's out having fun without her. I bet she dang gaslights the shit out of him every time they talk on the jail phone calls. I bet Harvey, wouldn't it be funny if Harvey's like, she's like, well, what are you doing, hun? And he's like, well, I went over here to, to this sandwich shop and had the steak and cheese with the little green peppers with the special sauce. And Donna's over going, you shouldn't eat that. It's not healthy for you. But she's only saying that because she can't have it. And she's jealous because her husband ain't got to deal with her shit anymore. All he has to do is pay damn Rashbaum all this money, and he ain't going to get Donna out of nothing. Oh, love y'all. So anyway, leave your comments. I will get back to you, together with y'all on Wednesday. I've got another topic that I want to discuss with y'all over this Donna Adelson issue. And again, KJ's getting older. I'm 53, be 54 in April. Mr. Wayne will be 71 in November, and he's in better health than me. But I just thank God that we have freedoms. And even if I have limitations, or if you have limitations, because we are older, you don't have to live out your life in a jail cell. And you have freedom to do things. Maybe not all that you've always wanted to do. Maybe you have to just adjust things and just count your blessings. Okay, Jazz, to count mine all the time. But I want you to know something. You are the only you're ever going to be. And I love you. And I thank the world of all that visit this channel, raise and all. So with that said, keep smiling, keep living. Know that no matter your age, you're a force to be reckoned with. And keep on looking.